All right, check, check, check. Noise, noise, noise. So if you've seen the video on how to market a service-based business, then you might recall one of the first things that I talked about in that video is to network who you are first, then what you do. One of the secrets to networking, to being memorable, is to talk about who you are instead of what you do. And in this video, we're going to talk about just that, some strategies on networking who you are first. Let's talk about it. So tell me if this ever happened to you. You're at a networking event or at just a regular event, something's happening, and you meet a person and you go in with the hi, my name is, and immediately that conversation turns into what do you do, right? That's a great follow-on, is what do you do? Except that it's not that great of a follow-on if you want to be remembered. What you do sounds great, but it's not something that really sets you apart from everybody else. The thing that sets you apart is truly you. And if we could understand how to go forward with being us and introducing ourselves into the conversation, then what we do will easily follow. Now, why does this matter? If you're an entrepreneur, if you're solving a problem for people, if you're in sales, if you're whatever it is, right? If you're at a place and you meet a person and you want to be remembered, you got to talk about who you are and why that matters to the person that you're talking to. So I got three things possibly that I want to share with you that'll help you be memorable and network who you are, then what you do. The first thing is you got to get rid of that what do you do question, no matter if you're asking it or if the person that you're talking to asks you what you do. So when you introduce yourself, it's the hi, my name is, which is great, but the question that I want you to ask is a question about why you're in the same place, what it is that brought you together, not what is it that brought us together. But let's say you're at a wedding. Hi, my name is Rashad. How do you know the bride and groom, right? Have you ever been to this venue before, right? Something like that, right? If you meet somebody, if you meet them at the grocery store and you start talking, a good conversation, truthfully, is do you live in the neighborhood, right? It's a question on the context for the setting that you're meeting. Instead of the what do, you want to start building up conversation. You want to get folks talking instead of getting them walking, because asking that what do you do conversation is a great closer, right? But it's not a great opener a lot of times. So introduce yourself and ask a question based on the context or the setting that you're in or the thing that brought you guys together. The second thing that I want you to do is I want you to build that conversation on common ground, right? So the first thing leads into the second thing. If you can ask that question, you'll start to realize, why you're in the same place. Maybe there's some common ground there, but what shared experiences, shared friends, shared likenings, things that you like, that you both like. I don't even know what that word is, but things that you're both interested in, like shared interests, maybe that's what I'm looking for. Something like that to build the conversation up, because now you can start the volley of, wow, I like this thing, blah, 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 and this other thing, how do you feel, right? And let them talk about the thing, and now you can build up that thing that makes people feel good to know that we belong together. And so no matter who it is that you're speaking to, it's going to make you feel better about the conversation. It's going to make the other person feel better about the conversation. And so now you can get ready for the close, right? Because now you've introduced yourself, you've built this common ground, and you started talking about interests. And now I want you to take the things that you're interested in or the things that you're passionate about, the problem that you want to solve, the thing that drives you, and start to tie that in to what you do. If you've watched this channel a little bit, you know that I'm a photographer. I did a bunch of weddings and portraiture, moved into the branding and marketing space, right? I don't introduce myself as a photographer. Instead, I talk about what I'm truly passionate about, and that's people. I just like to talk to people. I like to make sure that people have every advantage they can to fulfilling their personal mission in life. And so I start talking about those things. It's not about me. But when I get down to the part where what I do, I take pictures, which sounds like nothing, but instead I help brands communicate their story. I help personal brands, right, create consistent imagery. But what it is I'm still allowing people to come together and to be represented. I just talk about my passion for people. I talk about the ways that I'd like to help people. I talk about problems that I see that I think we can solve. Those are the things that I talk about when I'm meeting someone new. I talk about what they're up against and let them talk, right? Because taking pictures doesn't always solve it, but because I have these conversations all the time, I also have a wealth of knowledge about a variety of things, right? And so I get to just drop little tidbits and things in on that conversation. So that's the third thing, is to talk about the things that you're passionate about, the things that drive you, and introduce in that conversation the thing that you do. Now, when you walk away from that conversation, this person knows that they've had a memorable conversation with you. They can remember things about you, things that they've shared, things that the two of you have shared, like interests, because I got it that time, like experiences, like all of those things, and they get to walk away from it and go, oh yeah, and this really cool person that I met is a photographer. But they get to walk away knowing who you are and then what you do. Housekeeping. If anything in this video was interesting to you, if you learned anything, if you're reminded of anything, please share and subscribe. YouTube does not care who I am until I get well over 1,000 subscribers. So please press that button, smash the like, and get into the comments so we can talk about these things. Until next time, peace. The landscaping guys. Dude straight came back, got his jacket, and left again, leaving the truck running 20 feet from where I am. Let's do this tomorrow.